So today I want to talk about X Libre. What is X Libre if you've been living under a rock of late? Well, X Libre is effectively the continuation of the old X11 Xorg project now that it's basically being replaced by Wayland for the foreseeable future. And the original Xorg developers who are now, let's say, working on Wayland and Wayland protocols or whatever have basically made it impossible for X11 to continue to get development, continue to get work, security features, and so forth, which I guess is entirely their right. Now, the reason X Libre comes into this, if you aren't aware, is the developer of X Libre was working, or let's say was submitting updates to the old X11 code base until relatively recently, last year, when there was, let's say, a divergence of interests and politics and all this kind of stuff, and was effectively banned from developing on the Xorg code base. So what he did, he created a new repository or a new fork of Xorg, and now it's called X Libre. But X Libre is not, let's say, although in theory it's the future replacement of Xorg now that Xorg developers want to kill off Xorg, which they've said, or X11. It's not the default for many operating systems or many distributions at the moment. And I kind of wanted to today cover, most importantly, Arch Linux, because, a lot of the people watching this channel follow, Arch Linux, use Arch Linux, and Arch Linux is kind of the hot thing at the moment. It's going to be in the Steam Deck and all this kind of stuff. Now, there are some problems with the old legacy of X11 being on Arch, because anything so fundamental to so many people's desktops is difficult to, let's say, replace for existing users and possibly future users. It must be a bit of a headache for the Arch Linux team, but nonetheless, let's just look at a couple of things and why really in the long term, and maybe hopefully in the shorter term, the X Libre should probably replace the old X11 package, let's say, or meta package of different things. So if we look at this Foronix article, the reason this is so important, because Xorg developers are effectively rolling back 2 years of updates, and starting back to 2024, I think anybody who uses such a fundamental part of the system should be a bit concerned that suddenly their desktop is now 2 years out of date on X11 Xorg. And of course, they kind of want this because they want you to migrate to Wayland and all this kind of thing. And obviously, they have a bone to pick with the old X Libre, or the X Libre developer who was developing on Xorg. So they've rolled back all of his changes pretty much, and are starting from 2024. And then in theory, I think they're kind of slowly picking their way through, putting in some of the patches. I don't know. I don't necessarily trust it, but because of sort of first principles here, that basically they want to kill off Xorg, of course, and they want to make it, pretty much impossible for anybody to develop on it. And they obviously are willing to do things ideologically on this code base that, is it really necessary? I don't know. I don't know what you think. And of course, there was just some change of the name, was again, typical politics stuff for these kinds of people. So where are we with Arch Linux and X Libre? Because it seems to me it makes sense in the long term that Xorg is replaced with X Libre. It's just really a compromised package database, which is what, again, Xorg want. They don't want you to use it, whatever, even though so many businesses and so much infrastructure still probably relies on X11. So if we look at the Arch Linux packages, so this is your mainline Arch Linux packages, and traditionally when you get your Linux desktop on Arch Linux, you would install your Xorg X server or Xorg server and your Xinit, RC, and all this kind of stuff to have your X11 client and all this kind of stuff. So this is still the default, right? So what I mean to say is, if you want X11 on Arch Linux, you install Xorg server, right? You don't install X Libre, right? So because if we look here, this is on your Arch Linux packages. In fact, this is late last year, the last time the package was updated. So the rollback actually looks, from the look of it, hasn't been implemented yet in the Arch Linux Xorg server package. But how long that will last, I don't know. Maybe they're assessing the situation. You know, again, this is in theory. This package is older than the package from last month, but it's not. These are 2 years of updates that have now just been rolled back in the past month. So in theory, this is more up to date than the current state of Xorg. That's my understanding of the Xorg server package. So what's the situation with X Libre then? Because clearly this is the future. It seems to be good. It seems to be the way things are going now. You might assume, well, you know, it's still early days for this code base. Will, you know, people get bored of it? But, you know, it's sort of gone beyond the original creators and the creator of it, and is just, you know, clearly now part of, you know, lots of smaller distros. So it does seem to me that this clearly needs to be replacing the old Xorg server. Problem with that, of course, is if you know, this is not actually a straight for straight swap, because obviously X Libre has been developing, it's probably breaking changes on existing systems. So you couldn't just, you know, sudo pacman RNS Xorg X server, you know, sudo pacman -s, you know, Xorg X Libre if it was in the main repositories, because there would be lots of breaking changes. There'd probably have to be a manual to do all these changes. That would be my guess. Now, the other thing might be to say, well, have them both in the mainline Arch Linux server, and then you could, let's say, you know, at the install it if you want it. Okay, so you don't install Xorg X server, you install X Libre X server, right? And then you just start from that foundation. I don't know. Again, the other thing is, it's clearly going to be confusing for some people. Now, you'd expect most Arch Linux users would have some kind of sense of this, but you never know. It might get confusing, might get messy. So maybe they're just sitting it out, seeing how it goes. But you know, if you install it from the AUR, again, I'm personally, I wouldn't want something so critical as my X11 server, even though, of course, I prefer the TTY and whatever, being installed from the AUR. To me, that just seems, in principle, something too important should come from your main repository, your main Arch Linux repository. But that's just how I feel about it. You never know. Depends how bad Xorg's X server becomes on Arch Linux. I don't know. So there's all these things to consider: breaking changes, you know, confusion. You know, should you have two Xorg X11 package, you know, 2 versions of X11 if you want in the main repositories, because you're duplicating? I don't know. Maybe you guys have got an idea about it, but you know, so I thought I'd just highlight it. I'm kind of feeling, you know, I'm feeling a bit nervous with, you know, the state of Xorg X11, being that it's, you know, being rolled back 2 years, and you know, it just seems a bit crazy to me, whatever the politics and whatever are around it. But because if you look at TTYSH, for example, right now, I actually have the option of 3 different environments, right? So the basic one is TTY, which is what you do when you start up your computer. If you don't automatically exit RC, start or exec i3 or whatever your window manager or desktop is using X11. But from TTYSH, I have a quick way to start i3. So you can start i3 or you can start Sway. So Sway is obviously Wayland, i3 is X11. Now, obviously, I've got X11, the, you know, traditional Xorg X server, so I haven't got X Libre on here, but you know, I kind of would want X Libre in the near future, because although obviously you could say we'll just use Sway, it's the modern secure graphical server, but you know, it's almost perfect. Let's say I can do most of the functionality, but I like having the option of i3. And I think, you know, for somebody using Arch Linux, that just seems to be sensible. Have some sort of redundancy. Yeah, you're future proofing with Sway and Wayland, but having the redundancy of i3 and Xorg, which has been used for decades, is always nice to have, depending what happens with projects. But yeah, I would prefer it running under XLibre if it was in the Arch main packages. Anyway, let me know what you think on that one, because I'd be interested to know if you're running XLibre on Arch, or you've got some funky system running XLibre. I'd like to know, or what you think about it. Anyway, I thought I'd just cover that, because that's something that's sort of close to how I'm looking at setting up my Arch Linux setup in the future, having some sensible defaults, but at the moment, still the old Xorg X server for now. Anyway, so I'll leave it there so you can know what to do. If you're faint YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And I want to give special thanks to the Patreons. That is Sol and Sean. Thank you guys very much. And if you want some early access videos, just have a look at the description for the Patreon. You can get some nice little things out of those Patreon subscriptions. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one.